Good morning, dear students. This is Dr.Kausar, Unnisa, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, GFGC, KJ. So, in this session, we are going to have calculation of the third type of dispersion, that is called as mean deviation. So, in mean deviation, in case of individual and discrete series, how to calculate, we are going to discuss in this section. We know that the first two methods of dispersion, that is range and quartile deviations, are not purely the measures of dispersion because they are based on two values rather than on an average. In case of range, only two extremes are taken into account, and in case of quartile deviation, Q3 and Q1. To study the characteristics of the distribution, deviations must be taken from an average. Therefore, the measures which takes averages into account are mean deviation and the standard deviation. Therefore, mean deviation can also be called as average deviation. It is the average difference between the items in a distribution and the median mean mode of that series. Or in simple terms, we can able to say the arithmetical averages of the deviations by ignoring signs from the mean, median or mode is known as mean deviation. And this mean deviation, it is denoted by a Greek alphabet, that is S. So in case of individual series, how to calculate the mean deviation? There are certain steps has to be followed. So as usual, how we used to calculate mean, median and mode in all the three series in the same manner has to be calculated. And only while doing the deviations, the signs has to be ignored. Even though if we get the negative sign, it should not be considered. That negative also has to be considered as plus. Then in case of individual series, we'll have to total all the deviations value. Then we should apply the formula, that is sigma d by n for the absolute measure. For the coefficient measure, it is mean deviation is nothing but mean deviation by mean, median or mode. Any type of averages, if we have done the deviations with mean means we should divide by mean. If we have done the deviations by median means we should divide only by the median or through by mode. Let us will see one of the question given here, that calculate the mean deviation and its coefficient of the two income group of 5 and 7 members given below. So here the group 1 is given, that is 4,000, 4,200, 4,400, 4,600 and 4,800. These are all the variables value. So for this variables value, what we should do means, here given to calculate the mean deviation, it is through by median. So if they are given to calculate through by median means the deviation values has to be done only by the median. Therefore, we require to calculate first the median value. For this information, median is nothing but the size of n plus 1 by 4, the value, and median is equals to the size of how many numbers means it is 5, 5 plus 1 by sorry, here it is not median 4, it is 2. Median is nothing but the size of n plus 1 by 2, and the size of 5 plus 1 is nothing but the 6. 6 divided by 2 is third item. So in the series already it is arranged. The third item in the series is 4,400. Then what we'll have to do? We have to do the deviations column. The deviations is nothing but x minus median. The median value is 4,400. Now in the table how we calculated, in the same manner the deviations has to be calculated. The variable value is 4,000 minus the median is 4,400. Even though we'll get a negative sign, that is minus 400, it should not be written as minus, it has to be considered as plus only. Then 4,200 minus 4,400 will be 200. Then 4,400 minus 4,400, median value becomes 0. Then 4,600 minus 4,400, it is 200. 4,800 minus 4,400 is 400. Then we'll have to total up all the deviation values. It will become sigma d, or summation of deviations, is 1,200. Now with the help of this, we should go for calculating both absolute measure as well as the relative measure. In case of absolute measure, mean deviation is nothing but sigma d by n. Therefore, mean deviation is the value what we got in the table, that is 1,200, has to be substituted here. Same sigma d, that is 1200 divided by number of items are 5, therefore mean deviation is 240. Therefore, the average deviation of the individual incomes from the median income is rupees 240. Same thing we have to calculate with the help of relative measure. The relative measure, the formula is coefficient of mean deviation is mean deviation divided by median, because what average we have done the deviation has to be divided by the same thing. Therefore, coefficient of MD is 240 divided by median value is 4400. Therefore, the coefficient of mean deviation is 0.05454. So, this is how we need to calculate with the help of in individual series. Let us will see how to calculate under discrete series. Under discrete series also, only the deviation value becomes, it is not sigma d, it will become sigma fd by n. So as it is how we used to calculate, see the question thoroughly, deviation has to be done by which average should be clearly understood in the question. So if they are given to calculate by mean or through median or through by mode mean, the same average has to be calculated. And the second, that we should go for ignoring the signs during the time of deviation. Then we should go for multiplying sigma fd, then divide sigma fd divided by the number of observations for the calculation of mean deviation in absolute. In case of relative, we know that mean deviation divided by through which average that we have done the deviation. Because we'll see the question here, calculate mean deviation through median. The deviations has to be done by which average, means it is only through median from the following series. So here they have given the variables value, that is 10, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the frequency values are 3, 12, 18, 12 and 3. Let us will go for calculating the deviations as it is given in the question. We have to construct a table. First one is the variables, another one is the frequency column. Then we should go for doing the deviation. The deviations column can be done only with the help of first calculating the median. So median, we know that how to calculate in discrete series. It is nothing but the size of n plus 1 by 2 item. N, the total frequency is 48 plus 1 divided by 2 is nothing but 24.5. So now we'll have to check this 24.5 is lying in which CF, means 24.5 is lying in the CF of 33. Corresponding to that, the value of the median is 12. Therefore, 12 is the value of median. Now, the next step is that we should do these deviation columns by considering x minus median value is 12. So, how means x means 10, median value is 12, the difference we'll get it is 2. Though it is minus 2, we should not write the minus, we'll have to consider it plus only. 11 minus 12 is 1, 12 minus 12 is 0, 13 minus 12 is 1, 14 minus 12 is 2. Then B doesn't require the total of deviation, we require F into D column for the calculation of mean deviation. F into D. So the frequency is 3 into 2 is 6, 12 into 1 is 12, 18 into 0 is 0, 12 into 1 is 12, 3 into 2 is 6. Then we'll have to add all the values of FD, the product of FD. Therefore, sigma FD is nothing but 36. Let us, we'll go for calculating the value of both the two mean deviation, both in absolute measure and the relative measure. In case of absolute measure, mean deviation is nothing but sigma FD by n. So what is sigma FD? We got in the table, that is 36. 36 divided by n is nothing but total frequency, that is 48. 36 by 48 is 0.7. Then we'll have to go for calculating in the relative measure, that coefficient of MD is nothing but mean deviation divided by median. Coefficient of mean deviation is, mean deviation value is 0.75 divided by median is 12. Therefore, the value of coefficient of mean deviation is 0.0625. So this is how we are going to calculate the value of mean deviation in case of discrete series. Let us will check here how to calculate the value. Again, problem number 3 is given. So the size 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16, and the frequencies are 2, 2, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 and 1. We will have to calculate the mean deviation here given very clearly, that is through mean from the following data. So as it is, we know that deviations has to be done with the help of mean only. So before going to do the deviations, we need to calculate the mean value. Then we have to construct a table. The first column is going to contain the variables value given in the question, that is x. It is nothing but size 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16 has to be located, has to be substituted there. Then we'll have to insert frequency values in the second column, that is 2, 2, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 and 1. The total of frequency becomes 20. Because the deviations has to be done with the help of mean, so we require to calculate the mean value. In case of discrete series, the calculation of mean is nothing but in under direct method, it is sigma fx by n. Now we have to go for calculating f into x column. So f into x will have to multiply 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 2 is 8, 6 into 4 is 24, 5 8s are 40, 10 3s are 30, 12 2s are 24, 14 1s are 14 and 16 1s are 16. Let us will total all the frequencies, the fx column, that is sigma fx, it becomes 160. We have calculated the mean value. Now we'll have to calculate what is the mean value for the deviations, to construct the deviation values. Mean is nothing but sigma fx by n. Therefore, it becomes 160 divided by frequency. N is nothing but frequency 20. The value of mean we are going to get, that is 8. Now we'll have to go for calculating the column of deviations. X minus mean is the deviation value, that is nothing but d. So x is 2, 2 minus 8 it becomes 6, 4 minus 8 is 4, 6 minus 8 is 2, 8 minus 8 is 0, 10 minus 8 is 2, 12 minus 8 is 4 and 14 minus 8 becomes 6, 16 minus 8 is 8. Then for the calculation of mean deviation, the formula is sigma fd by n. Therefore, we require to calculate the f into deviation column. F is 2, the deviation value is 6. 2 into 6 is 12, 2 into 4 is 8, 4 into 2 is 8, 5 into 0 is 0, 3 into 2 is 6, 2 into 4 is 8, 1 into 6 is 6 and 1 into 8 is 8. Total sigma fd, the value is 56. Now we'll have to go for calculating both in the absolute and the relative measure of mean deviation. Mean deviation is nothing but sigma fd by n. It is 56 by 20 is 2.8. Then on relative measure, we require to calculate coefficient of md is mean deviation, because the deviations has done by mean. So we should divide it by mean. Therefore, coefficient of md is nothing but 2.8 divided by 8. Therefore, we got the coefficient of mean deviation is 0.35. So this is how we have to calculate the value of mean deviation in case of individual and the discrete series. In individual series, the mean deviation is sigma d by n, but in case of discrete series, mean deviation is nothing but sigma fd by n. But for the calculation of coefficient, to which average we have done, the same average has to be used both in individual and discrete series. That is mean deviation, if it is done by median, divided by median, or through by mean means mean deviation by mean, or by mode means mean deviation divided by mode. So this is how we need to calculate the values of mean deviation in case of individual and discrete series. So with this, I am going to end the session. Thank you.